Welcome back to another video on the Playbook Sports Podcast. It's Addison at the Playbook_AO down here in the corner if you want to give me a follow on Twitter. Just before we get into today's video, I want to shout out the sponsors. SeatGeek, use code Playbook Sports if you want $20 off your first purchase. Helps you, helps us. It's a win-win. And the other sponsor for today's video is Gold Fight and Bowls, attorneys at law. Lawyers for the injured. It's no accident that we've been in business for 60 years. So give them a call, 309-673-5144. So with that being said, let's just jump right on into today's video. I'm sure you saw the YouTube short Nate put out. He got the package in the mail. Roger Goodell sent him the scripts, baby, keeping it hush-hush. But I got the Browns script right here. And if you're a Browns fan, I'd be excited. A little bit better than last season, but we'll obviously get into that. Let's just break down this schedule week by week here. Week 1 at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. I did say it was going to be better this year, but you're starting out 0-1. But the offense looks good in a big shootout. Deshaun Watson doesn't look like he has any rust. And it is just a tough loss. Cincinnati's a great team. Joe Burrow, probably a division favorite. You got to assume they are 0-1 to start the season. But week 2, you've got Pittsburgh going to Pittsburgh, Monday Night Football. The Browns are going to win this game. 1-1 after 2 weeks. Going into the third week, the Tennessee Titans at home. And that's another win. 2-1. Tennessee is going to be lackluster this year. I'm thinking bottom 5 team. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to mop them up to go 2-1 through 3 weeks. Going into the fourth game here is home against the Baltimore Ravens. So you got 3 division opponents in the first 4 weeks, and the Browns are going to beat 2 of them, and they're going to move to 3-1 going into the bye. 3-1 record into the bye, not too shabby, but the team on the other end of the bye is pretty tough here. The San Francisco 49ers. Tough team to run into, one of the NFC contenders to get back to the championship game, if not the Super Bowl, you got to assume, and that's a tough team to run into. The Cleveland Browns are going to lose this one off of the bye. Stefanski, that's a tough loss. Browns fans will probably be pissed, but 3-2 through 6 weeks. And then this is where a 3-week stretch, you're a Nick Chubb fan. I think he's going to feast, baby. 5 touchdowns in 3 weeks is my guess here. We're going week 7 at Indianapolis. Colts, rookie quarterback, might not be as competitive as they want to be, but it's going to be a good game for the Browns in that running attack to move to 4-2. And another game on the road here, back-to-back on the road. The Seattle Seahawks, I think Nick Chubb and this offense will run all over them, as the Seahawks were dominated last year in the run. Improved a little bit, but I'm still anticipating the Browns running game to dominate this game to help them move to 5-2. Win both games on the road right there. That's great. 2 wins in a row after the loss on the bye. And the third game here is against the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, I assume, will be back at this point. Maybe a little rust on him, though, after the ACL injury. And this game is at home for the Cleveland Browns, and I got them winning this one as well. Moving to 6-2. Damn good start, considering last year they only had 7 wins. So through 9 weeks, having 6 wins is a great start, and they're definitely competing in the AFC looking for the playoffs. With that being said, back-to-back division opponents right here. You got the Baltimore Ravens on the road, week 10, and they are going to lose this game. The division is just so tough in the AFC North. Last year was the AFC West everybody was hyped about, and the AFC North was still pretty damn good again last year, and they're going to be good this year again. I mean, they deserve the hype. You got the Bengals, you've got the Steelers, Ravens, and Browns. It's just a dogfight every time any teams match up. And the Ravens are going to take one of those matchups for sure. So the Browns are going to move to 6-3 after 10 weeks. And Pittsburgh's also going to take one of those matchups. It's just hard not to assume that these AFC North teams are just going to bang heads, split amongst most of them just because it's a bloodbath every time these teams play. So we got the Browns falling to 6-4 through 11 weeks. And then they go on the road to the Denver Broncos. And I got them winning this game as well to move to 7-4. It's going to be a damn good game. I'm expecting the Broncos to be better than they were last year. Sean Payton coming to town, helping that offense. But the Browns defense, Deshaun Watson playing well at this point, proving that he's worth that contract, maybe not that full amount of money, but a good chunk of it. The next game they got here, this should be an easy win for most teams that play them, and that's the Los Angeles Rams. To move the Browns to 8-4, it is in LA, but at this point, I think the Rams might be done and finished. I also think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league this year. So I got the Browns moving to 8-4 through week 13, and week 14 here against the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a tough game. The Jaguars made the playoffs last year after a great run, big comeback in the playoffs. I expect the Jaguars to win the division again and be a competing team in the AFC. Trevor Lawrence is taking another step. And in a damn good game, I got the Browns falling to the Jaguars. It would be in Cleveland, but I got the Jags taking a road victory here. Trevor Lawrence just continuing to show the league, hey, I am this generational guy everybody thought I was. I'm going to continue to take steps and become a top 5 quarterback. Week 15 here. This one's tough for me. If you watch my Bears breakdown, I also think this is going to be a win for the Cleveland Browns here. Good for Browns fans, bad for me and the Bears. Browns moving to 9-5 after the Bears come to town in week 15. Week 16 here, you get a little bit of a cupcake as well. Houston Texans. CJ Stroud, everybody's saying he looks great right now in camp, but still that team does not have enough pieces to compete. I think the Browns will clean them up in Houston. Deshaun Watson, another chance to go into Houston and play against his former team. The defense did it for him last year, but I expect Watson and the offense to do it this year. Browns moved to 10-5 through 16 weeks, and at this point, looking pretty damn good for the playoffs. Most likely not the division because I think the Bengals would be even better, but 10-5 through 16 weeks, you got to assume they're at least in the wild card contention here. Week 17, a game against the New York Jets at home. Aaron Rodgers against the Browns. It's going to be a good game, but give me the Jets here to move the Browns to 10-6. And then week 18, Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. At this point, I think the Bengals have the division locked up. Browns can't catch them, so it might be a situation where the Cincinnati Bengals aren't playing their starters. Browns are fighting for a wild card spot, depending where it is, who they want to play. So they're going to play their guys, get the dub in week 18, move to 11-6. And in that 18th week, I'm expecting Myles Garrett to get his 20th sack, get 20 of them bad boys, become Defensive Player of the Year finally, that he deserves it. And throughout the year, I'm expecting Deshaun Watson to have big time connections with Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore. I'm expecting him to be the big number 2 for the team, the underneath guy. 5'10", can go get any short route. He's looking good in camp. So I'm expecting those two to have big connections with Watson. And, of course, Nick Chubb's going to be dominant anyway. And with the loss of Kareem Hunt, I'm just expecting more touchdowns from Nick Chubb. He had 12 last year. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets in the 15, 16 range, just he's going to get more touches near the goal line. And again, like I said, Myles Garrett with the 20 sacks and the Defensive Player of the Year. Absolutely love to see that as a Browns fan. But 11-6, making the playoffs. Definitely a step up in what Browns fans expect with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. And I love Cleveland's roster. I say it every single time we talk about them. So this just excites me and excites me for the Cleveland fans. If I had to pick an AFC team, I'd probably be rocking with the Browns because they're the AFC Bears. You know, they suck. But they've got a chance to be good this year. 11-6 is what I got them going. But we're going to see.